The first question for this session is three particles are projected from a tower on inclined plane with the same speed u as shown in figure. Mark the correct option. So among the four given choices, we have to choose uh, such one good option which holds correctly for the given condition. Actually, what they are asking, among ABC, which of the particle will hit this inclined plane with the greatest speed? So for this, I make some analysis. First of all, I think about this second particle, B. So in this picture, it is very much clear. B is thrown up. B is thrown up with the velocity u. As we know, when this particle comes back, so it comes back with the same velocity and hits plane. That means B will hit the inclined plane with the same velocity u. So no change in the speed. Now think about this C. C will go and hit the inclined plane somewhere here. So I guess the speed of C is a little more than u. Okay, so let me put it here. Speed of C is little greater than u. So there is no much greater change in the speed. So that is clear now. Let me have a look about option means particle A. Particle A. So as in the picture, so when A is thrown, it go and hit the inclined plane somewhere here. Let us assume this plane still extends here also. So when the particle A hits the inclined plane somewhere here, say somewhere here, so whose speed will be much greater than u. So there are two speeds we have to think about. One is the horizontal speed, another one is the vertical speed. The horizontal speed as stated it is u, and when it hits the ground, so at that point whose vertical velocity is something v. So the effective velocity will be greater than u. So effective speed or velocity, whatever it is, speed will be more than u. So that means it is very clear that the particle A will hit the inclined plane with greatest speed than all other particles which are hitting, B is hitting with equal velocity or speed u, and C just over u, but A hits the inclined plane with much greater than the speed u. So the correct option, what we have to choose is option A. That's all about this particular question 11. Let me have a look about the next question. The next question is here. So in this question, CE and DF. So CE and DF are the two walls, equal height 20 meter. from which two particles A and B of same mass are projected as shown in the figure. A is projected horizontally. See, A is projected horizontally towards left, while B is projected at an angle 37 degree with the horizontal towards left. See, it's making 37 degree. Here it is B. Okay, so B is here and A is here. Well, if A always sees B to be moving perpendicular to EF, so this is the condition what we have to look for. Then the range of A on ground is, so we have to find range of A, means now A is thrown somewhere here, so now it may hit the ground at some distance. So we have to find this range. So how much is this range? Yes. So that we have to find. So in order to make the calculation range, so I know the range is purely defined by the horizontal velocity component. Horizontal velocity component. So means the horizontal component of the velocities of the respective particle will define the range. More the horizontal component of velocity, more will be the range. But observe, the particle A is possessing only the horizontal velocity. That means whose range R is equals, whose horizontal velocity is nothing but VA. And the time taken to move from this point to this point, so it is T. So then R is equals to VA into T will be the range of the particle A. So I have to do two calculations. One is to find VA and another one is to find T. First I want to find VA. For this process, I observe the given condition. If A always sees B to be moving perpendicular to EF, then the range of A on ground is. See, to satisfy this condition, I explain like this. So, if a particle possesses the horizontal as well as vertical motions, velocities, this is the vertical velocity and this is the horizontal velocity. When the horizontal velocity of both particles are same, so one particle will observe the second particle only moving in vertical direction. Only moving in vertical direction. So to satisfy this situation, I write like this. To satisfy the given condition, uh, their horizontal components of velocities must be equal. So both A and B should possess equal horizontal velocities. So definitely the horizontal velocity is nothing but VA for the particle A, but the horizontal component of velocity of B is, it is making 37 degree here. So I have to consider the horizontal velocity like this. So this velocity is VB cos 37. So VB cos 37. So VA is equals VB is 15, which is already given, multiplied by. So this is roughly 0.8 that you must know. So this is equals to 15 into, so this is 4 by 5. Otherwise, I may say it is a 12 meter per second. So VA is 12 meter per second. So I got VA. So this is this VA. So this VA is 12 meter per second. So in this equation, now I can write R is equals, it is 12T. So in the given equation, that means the known equation R is equals VA into T. I know VA. So now I want to find one more term, T, that is time. So that can be calculated like this, time T can be found in vertical motion, in vertical motion of A. So now for the vertical motion, since I know the displacement, that is a height 20 meter, the particle weight displaces vertically from this position to this position. Of course, the displacement, vertical displacement is nothing but this height. This is the vertical displacement. So vertical displacement can be found in the picture itself, that is 20 meter, which is given. So we know 20 meter. So since I know the vertical displacement, I can do some calculation like this. X is equals VO into T plus half AT square. This is the well-known formula. Here X stands for the vertical displacement, which is 20. That is equals. Here VO means the vertical initial velocity. So vertical initial velocity was 0 because the particle has thrown to the left with velocity VA. So it was possessing no vertical velocity initially. So means this term becomes 0. So plus, which is half into A stands for G, so which is let us take 10 into T square. So T is still unknown. Let me keep that T square. So you must know one more thing. So according to our sign conventions in NCERT, so the displacement is minus 20 and this 10 is also minus. So this is a minus. So in the whole equation, since it is 0, this minus and this minus get cancelled, and the remaining terms are so this is 5 means it is 4. So 4 is equals T square. Otherwise I may write T is equals 2 seconds. 2 seconds. So I also got the term T. So finally what I can do is R is equals 12 into 2. So this will be is equals 24 meter. So this is my final answer, what they asked actually. Say range of A and ground is. This is what we found now. So which is 24 meter, which is correctly said in option A. So that's all about the 12th question. Let me take you to the next question. Here is the next question. See the next question. So in the next question, what we are having, a particle according to the equation x is equals at cube, y is equals bt cube. Then now we need to find the equation of the trajectory. So which is the equation that holds. That means a relation between y and x. That is what we need. So at most we need this. So just observe the all given equations and the given equations. The given equation possesses the term t And here in all options, there is no term like T. T, well, T, there is no T. So that means what we have to do is T should be removed from this equation. So that equation, that means, so x is equals at cube means t cube itself is x divided by a. So now use this t cube here in the given equation. That means y is equals to b into x divided by a. So this form of equation is correctly said in option C. That is what we are seeing here, option C. So this option C is correct. So this is the answer for a 13th question. Let me take you to the next question. Here is the next question. So in the next question, what we are having is the maximum height attained by a projectile thrown over a horizontal ground is increased by 5%, keeping the angle of projection constant. What is the percentage increase in horizontal range? First of all, I mentioned the expression for the height. So now if I assume a kind of a projectile motion like this, this. So this is what we call the range R. And this is height h. So the projectile moves like this. This is how the projectile moves. And the equation for h is given by v square sine square theta divided by 2g. So in this part of the equation, what they said, keeping angle constant. And obviously, the terms sine square theta divided by g, 2g. So these things will become constant. So leaving those terms and making differentiation of h. So differentiation will give me the result like this, the partial differentiation, this much. So now it is said the horizontal on a horizontal ground increased by 15%. That means here it is the clue, maximum height attained by a projectile thrown over a horizontal ground is increased by 5%. So maximum height is increased by 5%. So the percentage change in maximum height is this one. So this is 5%. So 5% is equals to delta VO divided by VO. So let me keep this part of the solution here. So now let me think over the expression for R range, which is given by VO square sine 2 theta divided by G. So one more time I may say the sine 2 theta divided by G is one more time a constant. So now what I have to do is, so the remaining part is R is equals to VO square. So on making partial differentiation, delta R by R is equals to V delta V naught divided by V naught. So the partial differentiation of the remaining portion of this equation will yield again this thing that you are seeing here also. So which means which is equal to 5%. So means delta R by R is equals 5%. So that means what is the percentage increase in horizontal range? This is the question. This was the question, and our answer is this one, which is 5%. So we got the same thing here. So 5%. Well, so saying this much about that question, particular question, let me take you to in this question. A particle is thrown on this inclined plane, which may go and hit the inclined plane here, say. So on hitting, it makes elastic collision and moves vertically upwards. So this is the clue given in the question. We have to find, starting from projection, that means this point, we have to find time to move from this point to this point. Say this is the peak. So in this situation, I have to do two calculations. One is to find time t1 and another time t2. So time t1 is the time taken to move from point of projection to point of collision, and t2 is the time taken to move from point of collision to peak. So first I say one thing, what I do is, see, let me observe the given situation like this. This is maximum height for the projection with the angle of projection theta. So to reach the maximum height in the projectile motion, so we need the vertical component of speed, that is u sine theta. So that is the initial speed, and the vertical speed at this point is u for the projectile motion I am saying. So from here to here. So I use the term the equation V is equals VO plus AT. This is the equation. So if I am talking about only the vertical motion in the first portion of the question, so V stands for the final velocity during the motion, that is the velocity at this point during projectile motion, which is 0. So that is equals initial vertical velocity is u sine theta minus g is the acceleration due to gravity and time should be t1. So in this circumstance, t1 is equals u sine theta divided by g. So that much thing we can do for the projectile motion. Now we have to think about this situation. So in that case, for vertical motion, the initial velocity will be the velocity which it hits this point. So that will be the initial velocity for the upward vertical motion, because here it makes elastic collision. At the peak means this one in any projection, projectile motion. At this point, there is only the horizontal velocity. The horizontal component of velocity at the beginning point is u cos theta. So for that reason, when it makes the collision, the horizontal component of the velocity is also u cos theta. It is unaffected by the gravity. So the same velocity will stay for upward vertical motion. So that means u cos theta becomes the initial vertical velocity. When it goes to the peak, the final velocity becomes 0. Here. So here v is equals 0 at the peak. So in this time, the time taken is t2. So v is equals VO plus AT. Same equation, what we used in the first part. This velocity is 0 and this is equals u cos theta minus g t2. And doing calculation for t2, this is u cos theta divided by g. So we got a big clue. See, t1 is the time for the projectile motion here to here, and t2 is the time to move from this point to this point. So we got t2. So what they asked in the question is nothing but the sum t1 and t2. So this is equals u sine theta divided by g, and the g term is the same for t1 and t2. So for that I take g as common. So u cos theta, of course, divided by g. So that is equals u divided by g, and in the bracket it is sine theta plus cos theta. So this is my answer. So that you can get here in option C. So option C is the correct choice for this particular question. So that's all about the 15th question.